So, welcome to my first video. We're getting stuck into Warframe. Essentially, this is the new patch of
For
July
generations you slept.
2016.
No
A little
purpose,
bit's changed in
no
Warframe. I've
call
played
to wake
Warframe
you.
on the PlayStation previously.
But now,
It's a good game.
something has
They've
risen
tried to make
from the
changes
ruins
better for
of the
new
old order.
players. So, we're gonna head in on a PC account and see what it's like from the start, basically. We're going to choose basic weapons, Warframe, show you the basics, have a look at the new map they've implemented, and the marketplace. So I'll leave the intro, and we'll go from there.
Lost and waked me, Morris.
Let's go.
The twin queens, the sisters, have sent their most beloved commander, Vor, on an urgent mission. To protect the twisted crusade they have begun. To transform the scattered colonies into an empire. To see that the Tenno, hidden and asleep, will never awake.
I got caught.
So here are with choices. Basically, you get 3 choices of Warframe. Warframe is basic biotic armor that has different powers, and you fight with those different powers. In the starter Warframes you get are Excalibur, Mag, and Vault. They all kind of do, in essence, what their name says. So Vault is very electricity based, good shock speed, electric shield, whereas Mag tends to look at shields and being able to pull people in and hold people in place with a magnetize ability. Excalibur is more of a melee based, I would say. You still have ranged abilities, but you're diving in, you're doing big damage with your sword based ability. Here we're going to choose Vault. The reason we're choosing Vault over Mag and Excalibur is because Vault tends to be better at a high end compared to the other two. They've all had their recent changes, and Vault seems to have benefited the most out of all of them. If you want to go Mag, it is good early game. It's got Polarize, which can send out a massive wave, take people's shields down and kill them based on that shield. And Magnetize is the other really good ability where you can apparently one-shot certain bosses. But it's really good early game. I wouldn't probably go into it for an end game kind of Warframe, but you're going to be building up your Warframes anyway. There's quite a few to choose from. So, and then there's Excalibur, which is well-rounded. So, you know, you're not going to go wrong with Excalibur either. They've done a decent job of making these good for new players. So, if you like to get into the thick of things, obviously have a look at Excalibur. You know, you're dashing about, very mobile. But we're going to be choosing Vault. You know, it gives us a little bit more control, and like I say, it's kind of better towards the end game. But all these frames are
Wake up.
available throughout the game anyway, so you can always get them at a later stage if you need to.
I see the Lotus has tried to wake you. Pity she's too late. You're my prize now, Tenno. No. We are taking this one with us.
What has he done to you? I can't lose another Tenno. I'm surging your Warframe's power systems. Use your power. Defend yourself.
Okay, so yeah, we've got powers that we're going to use now. So pressing one basically does a shock like that, and there goes the enemy. Everything's obviously scaled down at this point, which is a good introduction to what Warframe's going to do. Essentially, we're just shocking a lot of these enemies. We're going to get an introduction to
An
Warframe
extraction ship is on its way, but the
moving
Grineer will be
and
hunting
getting
you.
out basically
Arm
what your
yourself.
enemy is. So yeah, we've got things like a slide, a jump, and a jump kick. We're able to run and roll and stuff around. What we're going to do first though is we're going to come into options. I like to be able to toggle my sprints. Plenty of other people don't. The reason I do is so I'm not having to press shift and control all the time. I can just concentrate straight on control and space for my jumping. I don't tend to do too much with the keyboard controls, so we can customize them here, the keyboard buttons. So mine are kind of, yeah, left to its own devices. The only thing I really do is I run multiple buttons on my mouse, so I can always have space via the mouse and things like that, but I generally press the space jump anyway. So the only other thing is use is normally X, so I tend to have it on C as well, just just for the quickness and speed of it. But that is generally it. But yeah, I do like to toggle on the toggle sprint. So here we go. Right, here we get to choose a weapon. So you've got a MK1 bow and a Skarner, both good. Bow tends to have a bit more range, whereas a Skarner is a bit more deadly, shall we say. I'm going to pick up the Skarner. I just prefer the Skarner over the bow, just for the looks and things like that. So press E, the slash. That's good slash. We've got no range abilities as yet, so it's all very melee at the moment. We can jump and strike, and dash in and strike. So the movement of playing this game is it's fantastic. It's one of the best I've played, and for a free base game, it's very good. We can also sneak up on enemies like we did there.
There's a cache of weapons ahead. Grab what you can.
And what we will do here again, we'll sneak up, melee, basically one shot them, no matter how powerful. So we get a second weapon here. These are your what we call the secondary weapons. So you have a melee, a secondary, and a primary. The secondary, we've got the latter, and we've got the Mark 1 kunai. Kunai are like blades that you throw out, whereas the latter is like a pistol. We're going to pick up the latter just because the damage is quite decent for a
Good. The
beginner
extraction point is up ahead.
weapon
Hurry before Vor finds
compared
out
to
you've escaped.
the kunai. So we're just going to stick with that. So there we go. You can see how decent that is. It's got like a zoom. Yeah, the ability to one shot like you saw. So for a secondary, that's pretty good. So we can double jump. We can spin jump in the air. We can slide in. Do that we need to. And reload. Just basically any game you get out of those.
Salvage team, why have you not
So we're just
reported?
going to make it easier for ourselves with the lato, and if we again hold control, we can slide under things, we can open up different storage and get what we call components in the game. Components allow us to build upon
Take what
weapons
you can.
and warframes.
You will require
So a lot of
resources to
farming
build
in this
yourself
game.
into a diverse and effective warrior.
So tap E quick for a melee, so we have these scattered around environments where they drop components. So yeah, there you go. And again, any kind of things you come across early game, it's always good to open up. You're new to the game, so just collect components and things like that. As the game gathers pace, you get the ability to be able to control
You made it.
what you
There's the extraction ship.
destroying and not destroying. You don't need to specify it too much.
You're not ready to face war now. Use your melee weapon to block the beam and get inside.
So if we hold down F, we can block attacks with our melee weapon as such. So it's kind of help as you need. We're not going to be able to kill this guy yet, so
Stronger than the rest. Lock the area down. This Tenno is live.
just
Quick, get to the console and release the lockdown. Do that, and I will guide you to your old ship. It's your only chance.
The queens want to destroy you.
just see you very versatile, very get around the map quite easily. So we want to be getting in and out here. We've got the map in the top left, and the yellow's going to show you where you can go to. Top right shows you your shield and your health. Quite important. You get different kinds of shields and health depending on the warframes. They're all set up for different. Bottom right, you can see your abilities for the warframe. So we've only got one active at the moment. You get 4 abilities normally with a warframe, but it's kind of a level progression of the warframe. As the warframe levels up, your abilities level up, and you get more abilities.
Your warframe is out of power. Use another weapon.
So as there, you've got a certain amount of power, and that power is in the bottom right again. That blue line. As that powers up over a certain amount of time, you collect blue spores that land around it. You've also got a time based on your
a Tenno flows like fire over
your
the
energy.
battle terrain.
So as that goes
You
up and as
remember
you
how
use
to
abilities,
dash
it's up and
across
down. So
walls.
you need to manage that as well as you go. So we're just going to double jump this as it suggests. And you can also jump walls. So yeah, it's a great game. You'd like to be able to move around the back quickly. I was very much into things like Destiny on the PlayStation and things like that, and it's very similar to that if you like Destiny, but you tend to have a massive range of movement, and it has more of a grind element, like Diablo if you like Diablo. It kind of mixes the two really. It's just, yeah, a lot of fun. So we're going to go down here. The main plot at the moment is you are what their class is a Tenno. They're trying to destroy you. So you're just kind of escaping at the moment. The story's going to bleed on from there. This is where we get to choose our primary weapon. Now, both these weapons are very good. Bow is very good, which is called the Mark 1 Paris. I've also got the Mark 1 Bratton, which is kind of like a rifle as such, automatic rifle. Now, very, very good are the bows. You're able to pin enemies, you're able to shoot through multiple enemies. They're just a little slow firing compared to things like the rifles, Bratton and things like that. But very good for things like spy missions, and the way they use the bows in this game is extremely well done. So definitely recommend the bow if you want to give that a try. We're going to pick up a Bratton though, just because you have the ability to be able to
I'm not sure
use
what
it like a
Thor
normal
has done
weapon
to your warframe,
from
but we
any other
cannot
kind
remove
of
it now. Just keep
first-person
going.
shooters and things
Your
like that.
ship is up ahead.
The DPS is still really good at this stage, especially things like headshots. To be able to one-shot with the bow, you also have to headshot too. But as you can see, the Bratton works absolutely fine at this stage. Now these are the blue spores I was telling you about, where we pick them up for energy, which is on the bottom right. Energy picks up. So we're just going to go down here and destroy some enemies, and we're going to get to our ship. So if you hold F, we can cycle our melee weapon. Press F again, we go back to our Bratton.
There it is, your ship. Hurry. Vor's reinforcements must be on their way. Disengage the suppression system
when
so
you
we
first
can
start playing
restart
the game,
the ship.
keyboard is a little
You'll
bit
have to bypass the
weird,
security
shall
on
we
that
say,
panel.
complicated. But gets used to it, you have to really give it a try. Now here is you'll be able to hack certain terminals. Basically with the hack, you get into disable alarms, you disable securities. But this is one of the 2 different types of
Are my
hacks.
senses deceiving me?
It's a nice element to the game,
Is that
so
you?
yeah, fairly they get
Enemy
harder.
reinforcements are
But
here. Ship Cephalon,
fairly simple,
we
to be
require
honest.
immediate extraction.
Should get used to.
The operator is in danger?
As you
I will
play the
need a
game.
few
They
moments
got
to
a
cycle
they
the
got a very good
engines.
method of getting you into the hacks as well. So building up really complicated.
You cannot hide from these old eyes.
So we're just defending a ship here. Once we defend the ship, we'll be able to escape. As you see, the front here is very good. Yeah, definitely recommend the bow as well. So if you want to get a bow trial, see, try them out. What Paris has recommended. You see the range there as well. It's pretty decent. No fall off on the damage there, so pretty good.
Tenno, the ship is ready. It's time to leave.
So there's the intro for Warframe. As you can see, very simple gameplay, but it gets even quicker the gameplay on this, so highly recommended. So if you're new to the game, give it a go. This is just going to be a short introduction until you get to your ship. You get these daily tributes. When you start a new account, you get given components or money off.
I cannot serve the operator in
This
such a
free-to-play
condition.
game. So this is
Ordered
a
me to
job chance
self-destruct.
booster for 2 hours, which is quite decent. You'd be able to, the way the game
The
runs, because it's free
Grineer
to
are
play,
ravenous for this old
most things
technology.
cost
It is superior to
what we call
theirs.
platinum.
Perhaps there are systems left
With
in the
platinum,
orbiter
you're able to
compartment?
buy different warframes, different
Look at this
what we call
mess.
blueprints for
Those
weapons.
savages. Components have been removed.
However, you can also play the game completely free, and this is
Why
what
did the
the
operator
main aim for
abandon
this
me?
one is, where we don't spend any money. We try and build up
Arsenal management
our
could be
resources and
restored if the
warframes.
operator wishes it.
So that was orders. Basically, he's the ship's AI, and we're going to then get into some missions and build up our ship and be able to see different equipment, different weapons, and build different weapons as we go along. And we're just going to implant this segment here. This allows us to see how Warframe weapons and build them up from there. Basically.
You honor Ordis. Now I can supply the operator with better modified firepower. Oh, the violation. Those have been looted as well.
So as you can see,
We need to
see
figure
our
out
Warframe
what Captain Vor has
primary,
done to
our
you and
secondary,
stop him.
and our
But we'll
melee.
need help. I found a communication segment we might salvage for your ship. When you are ready, activate your navigation system.
Ordis hopes the operator will punish the Grineer for dismantling it.
So Ordis is a funny AI character in this game. He comes out with some decent comments. So yeah, you're able to, at the moment, only equip and change the appearance of your weapon. So we can copy the Warframe colours, so you can suit it as you need to. You've got different configs of the weapon as well, so you can have your different appearances A, B and C. The customization in this game is actually quite decent. You can kind of do a lot. We can change the appearance of the Vault Warframe as well, so we can randomise the colours of it. I'm getting an award for that, so there we go, change the colour. These are just basically off default colours, so if we go to primary you can see where the free to game aspect comes in, so you get given a basic amount of colours and then you can then purchase extra colours through the game system, and that's where either you pay for these or you pay for them via plat, which you can earn via farming later in the game or by purchasing plat. So there's two elements which obviously make it free to play still, but also as a grind, or if you've got the money you want to pay for plat and support the game, you can do it that way. So we just got basic colours at the moment, so we're just going to randomise colour. That's fine, that's absolutely all I need. You can change it back to the default if you need to. So do what you need to with that. Call it Fashion Frame at a high-end level where you can really customise, get what they call sedanas, which are kind of cloaks to your equipment, and you build up from there. We're going to do another mission. We're going to head into the new map, which I am yet to see into this new update. The old map used to be just a list, just a kind of graphical list of planets, and you just click on a planet and then there'd be little sections around that. They thought it was a little bit too complicated for new players. So if you've ever tried it before, you'll know what I'm on about. And apparently they've changed the navigation in this new patch for the PC. So we're going to take a look at it. So as you can see, yeah, it seems a bit more complicated for beginners, personally. What you want to kind of be doing with the new map system, if you want to play public, absolutely fine. What happens is you choose a mission, the game will go out and will try and find you suitable other people to play with. Don't need to communicate really in this game to do those missions. Everyone kind of knows what they're doing. Go out, do the mission, and that's it. You all share kind of loot anyway, so it's absolutely fine. You're not fighting over loot. Not a problem. If you prefer, you can set it to friends only, invite only, or solo. We'll just do solo for the time being. So yeah, this is the new map. So kind of interesting. Doesn't really tell you as a new player what you should be doing, which is kind of interesting. The old one kind of just listed your next mission, so perhaps I need to work on that a little bit there. As we hover over it, you can see Vor's prize restore ship comes. So obviously we need to find the mission restore ship comes. So we'll go into the navigation of it. Now, as a beginner, you're going to be over by Earth. There we go, restore ship comms. So it's a little bit complicated to find, as you can see. I think they really need to work on that in terms of take you to the planet automatically and just maybe highlight this a little bit more. I'm just going to cancel the mission there while we look around the map a bit more. This is all new in terms of the way it looks. They've gone for a more kind of, we're going to start you off in one point and guide you around the different points. But I think at the moment, it's just, I don't know what you think as a new player, but to me it just seems a bit more complicated. Previously you would have this map and then you would just have big chunky graphical units of what these areas were, and you'd just be guided down a little bit of a path of them, so you'd finish one, the next path would open up for you. Whereas this is kind of similar, but they made it a little bit more personally complicated. But they've thrown in a lot more on the screen for you, so as you get used to it, it's going to become such second nature. But yeah, we can move that around then. Okay. So once we click on there, it's going to start, as you can see in the corner. The only other way you can do things on here, less complicated, is the list. Now up here it flags up your different kind of alerts and things like that, so we can pull down your quests. So for a new player, that's, you're going to be looking for a 1 up there, and this is going to be your next kind of destination. All prize restore the ship comes. Levels 1 to 2. So we can head into that one now. So you know where to go. Go to Earth and go to restore ship comms. I think that's the simplest I can say. Or have a look for the 1 in the corner just to show you what's going on. But yeah, I think they dropped the ball a little bit on that one. It's a little bit, personally, a little bit more complicated for beginners. So this is the general intro to most missions. You know,
The segment you need is in a nearby data vault. Infiltrate the vault and retrieve the segment.
So you normally get your mission overlay.
The Ascaris is working, breaking through. I see the shadows of your mind.
And you get a bit of a story going on the earlier part of the earlier segments. So what we want to be doing is just going around. The components aren't major necessity. I just like to collect them if
This
I can.
data vault is equipped with a variety of security measures. How you defeat those measures is up to you.
So this is going to be what we call a spy mission. Now spy missions, as you can see at the top left, we have the data status. Now you need to be able to hack these different data stations. Now once you hack them, absolutely fine, but it's getting to them that can be the complicated bit. You set off alarms. If you set off alarms, you've got a certain time limit to be able to defuse them. In the early game, fairly easy, nothing to worry about, but as you go through the game, obviously they do become harder. Now I'm just going to play this game through slow at the moment, so then kind of confused. We're kind of defeating enemies easily anyway, so we don't take much of a hit. As you get used to the game, you'll be able to fly run up a little bit quicker, as you can see there. But you take your time with things. As you get used to it, you get better at movement of the game. It does what they call parkour, which is obviously just a manipulation of a random map. As you see, we've got a locked door here, so this is obviously where we need to get to. As you can see the map in the top left, we need to head in that direction. So we come to the control panel. This is going to be our first hack on the mission. Well, our only hack on the mission. You tend to have 3 in later game, but we've only got 1 at the moment.
The target console is nearby.
So this rotates round. We basically hit space on one,
and
and it opens one up. But if we hit space at the wrong time, it takes one off. Now these get more complicated as they go on. It's that simple as you go on early. But yeah, as you go through the game, they do get more complicated. Now here you can see energy bars. Now these will set off alarms, so we want to just come down here and just avoid these. And also we come to this section, but we want to get in here. So there's a lot of electricity there, more likely going to kill you or set off an alarm. So we want to come down to here, nice and simple. There's going to be an enemy here in other locations. So there he is. Doesn't set off an alarm. They can tend to run off to these control points over here, and they can set off alarms if they're allowed to escape. But yeah, we just stop that nice and easy with the kill. Gonna hack the security again. Yeah, it's nice and simple. Once we're in here, we will have to do one more. Come over. Hack this one.
Data extracted. They
There's
won't
your data.
even know it's gone. The segment is yours. Head to extraction.
Okay, so you saw those level ups come
As
there.
every moment passes, the Ascaris burrows deeper, revealing you.
Yeah, you saw those level ups come there. So everything in this game kind of levels up. You level up as a player. Your Warframe levels up. Your weapons level up. So what tends to happen is they normally level up to max level, which is 30. You as a player continue to level up. It takes a lot to be able to get up to the big, teens and 20s. So you're going to be playing a lot to get up that high. But yeah, you tend to level up a lot of weapons, a lot of Warframes, and basically those level up to 30. Later videos I can show you where to go to be able to level those up. But as this is a beginner's guide, yeah, you just play the game to level. And as you can see, you can have a run as well, which I'll toggle on and off, as I mentioned. That's it. That's simple. That's basically the hack mission. Now this is your end screen. As you can see here, we get rewards and we get credits. So credits are important to the game, but also so are the mods. Mods are one of the most important things in the game. We'll go over those in a later video, just to fully explain those and how they work. But essentially, yeah, you get mods as prizes, you get rewards, and you get components as prizes as well. And as you can see, your weapons and your Warframe all level up. And as they level up, they allow you to insert different mods, and then that powers up the weapon even more. So starting at a low rank is obviously bad. As you build them up, you get better mods, you get better damage, and you get different abilities. So yeah, it's a very intricate game at later levels. It's fairly simple, so it's not too hard. It's just managing or learning how to deal with those situations. So this is the normal exit screen. Come out
Orbital
here.
void cloak engaging. Welcome back, operator. The operator has recovered a segment.
Install it now.
Ordis patiently awaits its installation.
Okay,
Get communications online. I must analyze what Vors Ascaris is doing to your Warframe. This technology is beyond the Grineer. It must be Corpus in origin.
So we'll let the game finish. Yep, so we know we want to install another component. Now this is going to be the marketplace. Marketplace
Systems
allows you
engaging. I
to
suppose this
buy
will
actual
do.
Warframes,
Ordis is grateful.
extra weapons and things like that. Now I'm going to do a separate video on this because they've changed
The
the
operator is
marketplace.
now connected with other Tenno in the system. The operator may now contact all black market
just
scumbags.
letting you finish.
Contact arms dealers.
So yeah, we're just going to leave it there. Going to go into the marketplace at another time. Basically, they've changed the marketplace in a recent patch where they changed the map. It's a bit complicated for new players. Again, used to be very simple. You go in, find your way around. You were able to buy things easily because you could buy things with what they call platinum, and you can buy things with in-game credits. Now, they've kind of not hidden, but they've made it harder to buy things with credits. So, as a new player, you think everything's going to cost you plat, where it doesn't. So, we'll go into that in another video, which is going to be the next video in this series. Yeah, we'll get that explained. Make sure that you're able to find what you can find. It's only a very recent patch, so again, it might change. If it does, we'll do another video. We'll update from there. But at the moment, yeah, it's a little bit complicated for new players, and you know, this has always been a little bit of a problem with Warframe. I was looking at the fact that I had other people that played the game, so I was explaining these things too. But there's a lot of people out there that just come into the game, want to play it solo, have no idea what's going on, and this is the kind of video that I'm trying to, produce to make it simpler for you guys. But yeah, we'll end it there. We'll go into another video next to do the marketplace and venture into the next mission. Thanks for watching. Obviously subscribe, click like if you like the video. If you don't like the video, obviously let me know, that's fine. Comment, discuss below. Thanks again. Cheers.